Lady Magic was her nickname when she played back in the day. Now she is with the Sacramento Kings organization still, correct, Nancy
No,
Lieberman?
I am not with the
them
Kings. I resigned. My mom is sick. And
I'm so sorry to hear that.
She's been living in Florida, and to get from Sac
to
Florida, life choice and the right choice.
Got it. So you were an assistant with the Sacramento Kings for a bit, and now you are the new head coach of the Power team, Power head coach of the Big 3. Good to see you, Nancy Lieberman.
Thank you. I'm really very thankful for Ice Cube and for Clyde thinking enough about me to ask me to coach in their league.
Yeah, when they give you a ring, when they call you up for this.
Okay, my life is crazy as is yours. About 4 weeks ago, I'm on my couch. I'm watching the NCAA tournament. I'm going back and forth. I'm watching Straight Outta Compton, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and it's Clyde Drexler, and he goes, "Hey, girl," and he starts explaining, and he goes, "Ice Cube, we'd like to hire you to replace me," because he had just gone to the commissionership.
Yes, right.
And he's going to be great at that because he's just a very, very high IQ, very even-keeled guy.
Right. With a ton of respect. Tons of respect. He just
People love
oozes
him.
respect. Right.
And, you try to wiggle out a story from the Dream Team, and he just shut that down.
You did. You heard that one? I try to get something from him.
He's political. Yeah, he's good like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to be out there with the guys. I'm doing TV right now for the Pelicans, so I know you had Lillard, and I'm getting ready for the game tomorrow.
Right.
So it's going to be a great series.
Well, I mean, let's hit that a little bit since you just brought that up, and then we'll circle back to the Big 3. When Cousins goes down, everybody thought that's a wrap. That's a nice attempt of the Pelicans to try and put their own super team together. But Anthony Davis has been just out of his mind. There was, that 2-3 week stretch when he was damn near averaging
40.
50.
Yeah,
right?
it was unbelievable.
50 and 20. I mean, he had some wilt-like numbers he was putting up for a while there. What are their chances, you think, in the second season against Damian Lillard's Trailblazers we just discussed?
Well, the Blazers kind of limped into the playoffs. They lost 4 of their last 5. And the Pelicans, and they won 5 in a row. I mean, they beat San Antonio. They beat the Clippers. They beat Golden State. But you could see this real cool aura in the locker room. And there's a chemistry there. You never know how you get it. You never know how you lose it. Anthony has taken his game to another level. But I'd like to also, besides his superstardom, talk about what Drew Holiday did. And Rajon Rondo, he was recruited to that team by DeMarcus because I coached them in Sacramento for 2 years.
Right.
He is savant-like, Rondo. He's unbelievable. He gets a really bad rap. They love him. Teams come in, and teams that he's been traded from,
Right.
coaches, players, they want to hug him, say hi to him. There's a misconception about him.
So why does he get
Because he's
moved
smarter
around?
than you, and you don't like it. You better show up at practice the next day as a player or a coach knowing your stuff. Because he's got that Rain Man kind of thing going, and he'll call you out on it. And quite frankly, you don't want to be embarrassed. He's amazing. And look what he's done. Everybody writes him off, and he's had a great, stretch leading this team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I was saying Nancy Lieberman here on the Rich Eisen Show. I was saying to you over there, Chris, that the 3-6s, the 3-6 matchups in both conferences, Sixers, Heat, and this one, Trailblazers and Pelicans, definitely interest me here. More than many of the first round matchups that we're seeing.
It's going to be good.
What do you think? Who wins it all eventually?
Well, I believe that Nurkic has to play a big part for the Blazers to move on because between Lillard and McCallum, those guys average 48.5 points a game. So if you can slow them down, and Drew Holiday, he might be that best two-way defender since Kawhi Leonard. He's really good. And DeJounte Murray, he's in that conversation as a two-way. I can lock you down defensively. But if they don't get help around those two, the Pelicans, they're spreading the wealth right now. They're getting 4 or 5 guys in double figures. They were getting 41 points off their bench. And for me, the magic number is 110. If the Pels can get up around 110 points a game, you're not going to outscore them.
Well, ask the poll question of Nancy Lieberman while we're on the subject of the NBA right here.
Yeah, Nancy, which 3 or 4 seed has the best chance to win the title? So looking at Sixers, Cavs, Blazers, Thunder.
I'm going to say the Sixers because I think the Sixers are going to beat the Cavs.
I was saying, I said when Kyrie went down that it opened the door for the Sixers?
Absolutely.
Look at us.
I mean, in our world of basketball, you need a Batman and a Robin and another superhero. Who is that with Cleveland? And let me tell you, I admire LeBron James for what he's done on the court, how he handles himself off the court. I never thought I'd utter the words that he is in that Michael Jordan. There's a quality there.
The Kobe level,
yes,
Jordan level.
Because it's ridiculous, and it's the mindset of winning and the preparation of how you get there physically. 82 games is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, especially at 33 years old.
But the Sixers, do they need Embiid to pull that off, though, do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
So
but they're playing well. I mean,
this kid Simmons is out of his mind. 16 in a row. We've got Brett Brown coming up in hour number 3.
He's a brilliant coach. He's really good.
How so? What makes him?
He came out of the pop system, the pop tree.
Yeah, the pop tree.
And you just learn a discipline of how you're going to do things like over and over and over again. Nothing happens by happenstance. And then, they brought in the 2 great shooters. We had Bellinelli in Sacramento and J.J. Redick. You must have snipers, and they have snipers on that team. You've got, Simmons, I think it's going to be co-rookie of the year, by the way. First time since Kidd and Grant Hill.
Right.
Was it 2005?
Yeah, we discussed that just the other day, that it was a tie then in 05, right? 94. It was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I was in Detroit.
Yeah, 94.
Are they that old?
Yeah, they are.
Good for them.
We all are.
They're catching up to us. I like old people.
No, it's funny that so Simmons, technically, Donovan Mitchell says he's not a rookie,
Yeah, and I'm getting a shirt that says I'm not old. And I'm wearing a hoodie.
You put it in a
I
hoodie.
ain't old.
I like it. Hey, let me take a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll talk some more Big 3. And again, I know you live in the Dallas area and have come across Dez, I'm sure, and there's some big news.
I've got better hands.
You got better. Nancy Lieberman
All right.
is here on the Rich Eisen Show, back in 60 seconds. Nancy Lieberman's here on the Rich Eisen Show. Just called Del Tufo and Brockman my snipers. Well, Del Tufo is Italian.
Take that.
So that's the Bellinelli, right?
Yes.
And Brockman would love to even have 2 seconds of J.J. Redick's outside game for 2 seconds in his life.
J.J. Redick would love to have my outside game.
Stop it.
Okay, I'm going to have to say no.
Just saying.
Well, Chris can get,
Nancy's never seen the jumper.
Well, I mean, like Rondo, Chris can get triggered from time to time. You can get under his skin. You can get him off his game. You can trigger him a little bit.
Oh, my gosh. So we can't make it personal.
I play better when I'm angry.
Did you ever play better when you were angry?
I was always angry, actually, growing up because of my childhood. No father, no food, no heat, no electricity. People used to say, why was I so mean on the court? I actually played angry my whole life. I used to beat the crap out of my teammates at Old Dominion. And I'm now actually, this is true, sadly, I have reached out to teammates that I just annihilated every day. And just to say, hey, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
How do they respond when you say
They
that?
couldn't believe it. Because I was every day, every practice, every drill was like it was the championship game. You came across the lane, bam. I mean, it was maybe that New Yorker in me, but my childhood in me. And I just had so much pent up that we didn't have Dr. Phil or Oprah to walk us through that moment
Right.
of our life.
Right.
And I needed sports more than sports needed me. Football was my first sport.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball was my best sport, and basketball changed my life.
Baseball was your best sport?
Best sport. I could have played on our high school baseball team.
Men's baseball team. Okay.
Yeah.
And?
I just ended up playing softball.
What was your game? Good?
Shortstop.
Shortstop.
Uh-huh.
So you had range?
Yes.
Did you have any pop? Did you have pop?
Yes.
Okay. You had pop. Very good.
It's crazy, right?
No,
You
it's
probably
not
didn't even
crazy.
know that.
It's not crazy. I don't put anything past you. Nothing. Zero. I've known you for a very long time, and we've mentioned in the television-only segment, Dion's known you forever and a day. You're tight with him.
Yes.
And he sings your praises all the time.
Well, it's
Absolutely
one of the Ali thing in my life was he told me, and he was my lifelong friend, and Muhammad told me when I was 19, respect everybody but fear nobody. and I've lived by that my whole life.
When did you meet him? First time?
I fell in love with Muhammad when I was 10. I saw this man, and he changed my life. And then I met him at 19. And he must have known I was kind of broken a little bit on the inside. And he said, there'll never be a day you go in your life without me. And he was
He
true.
said that to you?
When I was 19 with my mom, it was amazing. And every big thing that has happened to me in my life, Muhammad was on the phone and just there for me. He taught me about life, philanthropy, racism, you know, just taking the hit. He goes, you're going to have to fight sometimes. I'm like fight? He goes, you might have to fight. And he goes, you can play against men, you can play against women. People are going to profile you, and you have to love you, right? The greatest love of all.
Mm-hmm.
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what you take from me, you can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is inside of me. He gave me that. I'm so grateful.
Nancy Lieberman here on the Rich Eisen Show. So, Dez, you know him at all?
Pretty well.
Okay. In Dallas, what do you think of this, Nancy? Now that Jerry has him in and says we're done, essentially.
You know, Jerry's very loyal to guys, almost to a fault. And I know the buzz in Dallas was that the consensus in the media was to let Dez go because he was targeted so much by Dak, and there was just no connection there, and you have to have that, especially with a young quarterback. And dropping passes, couldn't have that separation that he had early in his career. Look, they traded Babe Ruth and they traded Gretzky, and they can let Dez Bryant go if he's not performing at the level that the analytics say, and the eye says. It's going to be very emotional for Dez.
I know it already is. What did he say? He said I'm going to see him twice a year, he said to reporters when he left the Star?
Yeah, he's on kind of a tweet binge right now, saying that he's sorry for all the tweets, but it's very personal for him.
But
are you concerned as how he's going to? I mean, again, you know him. You live in the Metroplex. You've been. How long have you been in Dallas now?
38 years.
Okay, so you've been around there. You know the organization. You know Jerry. You're woven into the fabric of that sports part of the town. Are you concerned about how he's going to handle this right now?
He's going to vent, and with no filter. But then, if I were with Dez, I would say, "Why the hell didn't you feel this when you were with the Cowboys? Why weren't you angry every day and come into practice every day to get better? Why didn't you have this when you had that? Now you're going to use it to fuel your next level of your career. We're paid professionals. We should come every day with that type of focus and wanting to be better."
You don't think he was?
Well, obviously, his production went down. And we're in a production business. If I don't play well, you get to cut me. If I play well, you get to pay me. I like that part of the program. And it's how you bring it every day. And he might not have brought it every day because he didn't produce at the level that he had.
And now you're going to bring this to the Big Three, Nancy Lieberman. I'm looking at your team here. Corey Maggette is your captain. You got a Dookie right there as your captain.
He's a great man.
Catino Mobley, who I met a few years ago. Good dude.
Smart, sharp, competitive.
Okay. Glenn Big Baby Davis is your co-captain.
He is one of our co-captains.
What's going on with him?
Well, I talked to him the other night. I did ask him about, how he was doing, that we were very supportive of him. That's America. You're innocent until proven guilty. And I did recommend that he lay off the Kentucky Fried Chicken or Popeyes. I did throw that out there. That was selfish.
How did he take that?
He goes, "Yeah, no, Coach, yeah." I'm like, "No, I'm actually serious about the fried chicken."
What about the briefcase?
I said, if you have any left, we could use it for the team.
Okay, so he's good?
He's good. I'm looking forward to coaching him.
Okay.
We got Q Richardson. We needed a shooter. We got Q. He looks fantastic. And we signed Birdman.
The Birdman. You drafted, right? You drafted him last night, right?
Yes, with our first pick, number 4.
Yeah.
So I was on the phone with him, and he's an amazing guy. He's a winner. He's tough. He's strong. He's competitive. He's got a ring. Mm-hmm. He knows what it takes to win.
So who are your snipers here?
Well, certainly Corey.
You got Quentin, Q, right?
Corey, Q, and Catino. They're good. They were, Catino told me yesterday they were 2 possessions away from getting to the finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't tell me what happened in the possessions. But this is really, really high-level basketball. You know, we all grew up playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, no matter where we started.
Right.
We might not have had a gym. You have to have high IQ. There's a lot of strategy. You might not be able to go, 50 by 94 anymore and have all that athleticism. But in 3-on-3, it's about execution. It's about skill and will. And this league has gone up exponentially. I mean, Ice Cube, I'm sure, was just amazed at all the talent that this league's going to have this year. And there's, 10, 12, 15,000 people coming to the games.
Oh, yeah.
You get to see the legendary, the Hall of Famers, great players that you admired. I'm very thankful, by the way, to Rick Barry. He invited me to the game in Dallas last year. And he says, no, you know what? Sit on the bench with me. And I was like, okay. There was 16,000 people in Dallas. It was such a family atmosphere. It's a cultural changer. I mean, I saw LL Cool J. I met Ice Cube. I'm like, why the two L's together? That was a whole nother situation. I'm very inquisitive about stuff like that.
You are.
But I'm proud to be part of the Big 3 and what we're doing to extend players' careers, competitiveness. And it's an Olympic sport now, so it's no joke.
Yeah, sure. It's no joke. Correct.
It's going to happen, I believe, also in college basketball. I think they're going to go and have a 3-on-3 element in the future.
Well, I love having you on, Nancy. Anytime, please.
Thank
Let me
you.
know whenever you're in the neighborhood. These doors are always open, and I miss chatting with you.
Thank you. It's been an honor. Thank you for having me.
Oh, stop. Come on now.
I love you, and I'm proud of you.
Right back at you.
Thank
right
you.
back at you. At Nancy Lieberman on Twitter. And check out, again, the Big 3 when it comes near you. It all starts June 22nd in Houston, Texas.
Can't wait.
Good luck with power. Good luck with power.
Thank you. If you're in an area, bring the kids.
We went last year to Staples. It was awesome. Kids loved it.
Well,
we
if
loved
you
it.
want, find us. Come to a game.
1,000%. You
Thank
got
you.
it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.